I've been seeing all these AI podcast summaries popping up lately.
Right.
It's like, are we stepping into some kind of future where, like, information comes prepackaged, you know,
Yeah, it's
in a
wild.
neat little audio format? It got me thinking, what's the tech behind all this?
Well, it's a perfect example to talk about Google's Gemini project.
Gemini, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
that's the next big thing. After Bard,
Oh,
Google's answer to ChatGPT.
exactly. You're on top of it. But to really get Gemini, we got to rewind a bit. Think back to Bard.
Oh, Bard. It felt a little rushed out the gate, didn't it?
You hit the nail on the head. Google was under immense pressure to go head-to-head with ChatGPT. We're talking billions of dollars on the line and like a total reshaping of how we search for info.
So the stakes were high.
Crazy high.
Yeah.
So when ChatGPT blew up, Google issued a code red. They had to fast track their AI development big time.
Wow, that's serious.
No kidding. Even the Google founders, they jumped back in.
No way.
Yeah, it was all hands on deck. They knew they couldn't be left behind.
So it wasn't just about keeping up. It was about, like, staying on top.
Exactly. Google had to reclaim its spot as the AI leader. And all that pressure, while it might have led to a bumpy start, it also forced them to innovate.
So instead of just another chatbot, they went bigger?
Exactly. That's how Gemini was born. It's not just a chatbot, it's a whole new AI engine. It's built to power a whole bunch of tools and applications.
Okay, so way more than just a chatbot.
Way more. And that brings us back to those AI podcasts you mentioned.
So how do these AI podcasts actually get made? Like, does someone just, I don't know, tell a robot what to say?
Huh. It's a little more involved than that, but honestly, it's not as complex as you might think. This is where Gemini really shines. One of the tools it powers is this thing called Notebook LM.
Notebook LM, okay.
Yeah, Google calls it a virtual research assistant.
Virtual research assistant. I like the sound of that. Especially someone like me. I love information, but, oh man, research papers, they could be a lot.
I hear you. So imagine this. You've got articles, PDFs, even those Google slides, from that meeting that went on forever.
Oh yeah, painful.
Instead of spending hours going through them all, you just upload them to Notebook LM.
Upload everything? Okay, what happens next?
That's when the magic happens. Notebook LM, using that Gemini power, it analyzes everything, summarizes it all. It can give you these really concise summaries, like the key takeaways, or even answer specific questions you have about the material.
So it's like having a superpowered research assistant who can condense hours of reading into, like, bullet points.
Exactly.
That's amazing. To be able to get the gist of a research paper without all the jargon. Sign me up. Okay, but how does this connect back to the AI podcasts?
That's the really cool part. Notebook LM has this feature, audio overviews.
Audio overviews. Okay, so not just a robot voice reading a paper out loud, because honestly, that's a little...
No, not at all. It's way more sophisticated than that. Audio overviews use advanced text-to-speech, but with AI, to create a conversational summary. Almost like a podcast, actually.
So it's like Notebook LM turns my research into, like, an audio essay.
You got it.
That's kind of mind-blowing, like something out of a movie.
It's pretty futuristic, and that's why everyone's talking about it. We actually found this blog post. It's called Those Audio Summaries, Are They AI Generated?
Oh yeah, the one where the author actually uses Notebook LM to create these audio summaries for their blog, right?
That's the one.
So walk me through it. How do they actually make these AI podcasts?
So this blogger just feeds Notebook LM a whole blog post, like links and all, and then bam, podcast episode.
It's surprisingly simple, actually. First, they write a really detailed blog post.
So they're not like stimping on the content.
No, they're going all in. It shows that the AI isn't creating something from nothing.
Right, it needs something to work with.
Exactly. The AI is only as good as the input,
Garbage in, garbage out, as they say.
Exactly. So they write the blog post, feed it to Notebook LM with all the sources.
Okay, makes sense. Then what?
And they test it out, ask a few questions about the content, like a little quiz to make sure the AI gets it.
Exactly. Got to make sure it understands the main points, right?
Smart.
Then, once they're confident, they just hit, and I'm quoting here, the Create Audio Overview button.
I hit the button and then...
Boom. A few minutes later, they've got a downloadable audio file, a whole summary of the blog post.
Wow. And then they just, like, upload that as a podcast.
It's even cooler than that. They take the audio, use another program to turn it into a video file.
A video.
Yeah, and then they add some visuals, like a sound wave, to make it look all podcasty.
Oh, I've seen those. Slick.
And they upload it to YouTube as part of their AI audio summaries playlist.
They've got a whole separate channel for these AI-generated podcasts.
Wow. And they put the videos on their blog too, right?
Yep. They embed them right back into the original posts.
That's wild. It really makes you think, where does this leave us, the human creators?
Right. As AI like Notebook LM gets better and better.
It's like, what's our role going to be? It's the big question, isn't it? How do humans fit into the future of content creation?
It's exciting, but kind of scary too, you know?
Yeah, I get it. These tools can make information so much easier to access and understand.
Right. But there's something to be said for, like human insight and analysis.
Definitely. It's a whole other conversation, really, as we explore these new technologies.
We've got to think about how they'll change how we learn, how we create, even how we think.
Absolutely.
Feels like we're on the edge of something brand new. We don't have all the answers.
Get that.
But one thing's for sure, it's going to be interesting. If you want to keep up with all this AI stuff, this is definitely something to watch.
100%. And that's what we're all about here on the Deep Dive, right?
Exactly. Bringing you conversations about the tech that's shaping our future.
Big ideas.
Big ideas.
Yeah.
So, until next time, keep those minds curious.
And keep asking those questions.
We'll see you on the next Deep Dive.